Alright, welcome back. My name is Okichukwu Joshua Otazi, and today we are going to be talking about the various operations that are available in the Excel Pay Special Options. Excel Pay Special Option actually holds a lot of options for us. I've already shown you some of the options. Let me just show you some of them in case you haven't seen our previous video. But if you haven't checked our video, please check the previous video and then learn how to paste values, how to paste formulas, and then how to paste formats. Right, those are the three major options that we have in the paste option as it relates to this pay special option. All right, so there are options also in the pay special option. All right, we have the multiply, we have divide, we have add and subtract. All right, what I'm going to be dealing with right now is going to be the addition option, the multiplication option, and the division option. All right, you can go ahead and test the subtraction option yourself. All right, so friends, there are lots of options, as you can see, that are available using the paste special option. All right, in Excel, is beyond just copying and pasting. Sometimes we need to paste some values. All right, sometimes we need to paste a formula, sometimes we need to paste a format, sometimes we need to carry out an operation, or sometimes we need to transpose using the paste special option. All right, so right now I'm going to be teaching you how to use the addition operation that is available in the pay special option. All right, so friends, the first thing I'm going to do right now, looking at this data set, you can see that we have the months. All right, May 2020, all right, where the products were sold. All right, May 2020 is the date when the products were being sold. All right, we have 5 products that are being sold. And now, friends, if you look at this data very well, you can see that we have what is called the TVC, or what we call the total variable cost. Right, maybe the cost, the wages paid to labor, the cost of materials used in production. All right, so these are the costs, all right, that are available. I'm just going to format this as currency in order to make this look like currency. You can see these are just numbers right now, but if I format this as currency, what you see right now, I'm just going to highlight all of this, come over to this section over here, click on the drop down, all right, click on currency. As you can see right now, it's now a currency. You can see $124, no longer 124. All right, and the same thing over here. I can just format this as currency. Click on the drop down, click on currency, and then this also, I just click on this drop down in a number format and then click on currency. All right, now you can see they are all currencies. All right, so friends, the first thing I want to do right now is we've been told that we've been asked in this question to add TFC to TC. In other words, add these values, the total fixed cost to total cost. All right, if you're good in cost economics, you will understand with me that the total cost of production is actually equals to the total variable cost and the total fixed cost, not just the total variable cost. What we are having over here is that the total cost is equals to the total variable cost. As you can see, the values we have over here in the total variable cost are the same values we're having over here in the total cost. Telling me the total, there is no fixed cost reflected in this total cost. In other words, the total cost initially was just the total variable cost. So this value over here was equals to this value over here. This value over here was equals to this value over here. This value over here was also equals to this value over here, and the rest of the table was that way. All right, so what we've been asked to do right now is that we have a value for the total fixed cost, and we've been asked to add this value for the total fixed cost to this whole cost of production. In other words, add 100 here to this value, add 100 to this value, add 100 to this value. Now, one thing with the total fixed cost is that it doesn't change. That's why it is called a fixed cost. All right, it doesn't change over time. All right, so the total fixed cost remains 100 for every product. It remains 100 for this product, it's 100 for this product, it's 100. All right, even though the quantity changes, the total fixed cost does not change. All right, so friends, the first thing I want to do right now is to copy this value for total fixed cost. All right, we want to just add 100 here, add 100 here, add 100 to each and every one value of the total cost. So I'm going to copy the value over here. All right, now that I've copied this value for 100, now the next thing is I'm going to click on this first cell in the total cost, and then I'll right click. Then I click on paste special, and in the paste special box right now, friends, I want to add this 100 to 124. So I'm going to click on add. All right, now that this add is checked, I'm going to click on OK. All right, now that I click on OK, friends, you can see that we have $224 as the value for the total cost. All right, so friends, the next thing we're going to do right now is just to come to this bottom right of this particular cell, and then we drag down, and then the same thing gets pasted for the remaining part of the table. All right, so for friends, you can see right now as we drag down on what's happening right now. If I click on this particular cell and edit it, you can see that this cell is not locked. I'm just going to quickly show you something. All right, so friends, I'm just going to delete this. 100 has been added over here. All right. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do right now, friends, is to copy this particular total fixed cost value. And so I just press Ctrl C over here. Then I highlight all the cells over here, all right, where we have the total cost. Then I right click. Then I click on paste special. In the paste special box, friends, click on add, all right, because I want to add 100 to 124, add 100 to 23, add 100 to 149, and the remaining part of the highlighted table. All right, I'm going to click on OK. All right, now that I've clicked on OK right now, friends, you can see that the values, each and every one value over here gets added with 100. All right, so 100 is added to each and every one value, and now you can see that we have a different set of value for the total cost, and that's how we carry out the add operation as it relates to the paste special option. All right, so friends, the next thing we're going to be talking about right now, having done the add operation. Now this second option, the second question is telling us use the paste special to correct the value of quantity and revenue for the direct sales channel. All right, so we've been asked a particular question to use the paste special option to correct these values. All right, so first let's just look at the table right now. All right, now if you observe this table over here, all right, this particular set of table, if you observe this table, you'll find out that our quantity is negative. Our quantities are negative, which is not supposed to be. You can't produce a negative quantity. All right, our prices are positive, which is all right, but then it's affecting our revenue because our revenue are also becoming negative. As you can see, when you see this bracket over here, it means that this value is negative. Look at this cell over here. Now these values here are not positive, they are all negative. And so what it means is that our quantity is negative. We can't produce a negative quantity. There must have been a mistake somewhere, maybe while imputing the values into Excel, or maybe there was a mistake somewhere. The person typing in the value made a mistake, and then he made all these values negative. All right, we've been asked to correct these values such that these values become positive as they are supposed to be, and then these values will also turn to positive. All right, the values are correct. It's just that the signs have been negated. If you look over, all right, friends. So if you look over here, we have what is called the correction term. All right, the correction term here is -1, friends. All right, so what I'm going to do right now is just to copy this value called the correction value or the correction term. All right, so I'm just going to Ctrl C on this, and then when I Ctrl C, I copy this particular value, -1. Now with this -1, I'm going to multiply this particular cells, all right, with -1. And when I multiply these cells with -1, it becomes positive. All right, once it becomes positive, all right, this whole cells also becomes positive. The reason being that negative multiplied by negative, -1 multiplied by -197 will become positive 197, and it repeats the same thing for this whole cells or this whole column. And now when this whole column becomes corrected, the values becomes positive, and when these positive values multiply the positive value, it definitely is going to give us a value for revenue that is going to be positive. All right, so right now I'm going to just Ctrl C this. I've copied this, friends. All right, the next thing I'm going to do right now is to highlight these whole cells containing quantity. All right, now that I've highlighted the cells, I'm just going to right click, and then in the right click section, I'm going to click on paste special. All right, in the paste special dialog box, friends, now what I'm going to do right now, if you look over here, the section where we have total cost, I just pasted the value 100 and then used it to add the several values that we had, initial values we had for total cost, and that's why the formats gets pasted also. But I don't want the formats to change. I don't want these colors. I like the beautiful colors. I don't want the colors to change. All right, let me just show you the differences. If I just click on multiply and I click on OK, now what happens, we've corrected the values, but then this format's changed. All right, so we have a different format over here, but that's not what I want. I want the format to be maintained while the values gets corrected. All right, so friends, the first thing I'm going to do right now is to copy this. All right, so I'm going to highlight the whole values for quantity. All right, I'm going to right click, I'm going to click on paste special, and now in the paste special dialog box, I'm going to click on values. All right, I just want the values to be affected. I don't want the formats to be affected. All right, so I'm going to click on values, and then I'm also going to click on multiply. All right, so what's going to happen right now is just the values, we just multiply these values over here, and then the format will be maintained. And I'm going to click on OK. All right, friends, now as you can see, the values for quantity are now correct, and the values for revenue are also now correct. And that's how we use the paste special operations to correct our spreadsheets. All right, so friends, the last thing we're going to be touching right now is going to be the divide option. All right, now we have a particular question here. It says create a column containing the amount paid as tax. Now we have a hint. Now we've been told that we should assume that tax is equals to revenue divided by 10 for each product. All right, friends, as you can see over here, we have a set of distributors ID, we have the distributor's name, we have the sales channels, we have the dates it was sold, and we have all of these particular details over here. All right, so friends, what we want to do right now is, these are the product IDs, all right, so for each product, each of these products, all right, friends, we want to get the values paid as tax. We don't know what was paid as tax, but if we know what is paid as revenue, All right, and we know what, if we know what is paid as revenue, we can get what is paid as tax, because we've been told that whatever was paid as revenue for a particular product, for example this product, whatever was paid as revenue for a particular product, if you divide it by 10, you will get what was paid by as tax. All right, so friends, that's basically how we are going to get the values for tax. All right, so basically how we'll get the values for tax is for each of these column. All right, we are going to pick the value for revenue and divide by 10. Pick the value of revenue, divide by 10, you will get the value for tax here. Pick the value of revenue here, divide it by 10, you will get the value for tax. And that's how we will be able to get the column for tax. All right, friends, it will be tedious to start doing this one by one. And so the first thing we are going to have to do right now is to use the pay special operation to get the values that was paid as tax. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do right now is copy these particular values called revenue, and I'm going to drop it in this section called tax. All right, now that that's done, all right, so friends, the next thing I'm going to do right now, you can see we have the same values for revenue and the same values for tax. But what I'm going to do right now is divide each and every one value here by 10. So I'm going to come over to this section where I put the dividing value. I'm going to copy it, all right, just to let you know. If I just copy this and paste this, you can see this is not formatted as currency. You're not seeing a dollar sign before the 10. This is just going to give us a value and remove all the dollar sign if I continue with my operations. So I'm going to format this as a currency. So I come over to this section and then click on format and the currency section. All right, so I formatted this as a currency. So I'm going to copy this right now. Now with that copied, I'm going to highlight the whole section for tax. Right click on paste special on my dialog box. Now in the paste special section, friends, I'm going to click on divide. All right, so in other words, use 10 to divide each and every one value here. All right, I'm going to click on OK. All right, so friends, now if you can see over here, as I just divided this, the format gets affected. The format is now affected. All right, not just the values, the format is also affected. So I don't want the format to be affected, so I will repeat the same thing we did the previous time. So I'm going to Ctrl Z this. All right, now the next thing I'm going to do is right click again, click on paste special. Now what I'm going to do right now is click on values. All right, with the value section checked, I'm going to click on divide and I'm going to click on OK. Now you can see that the format is not affected, just the values gets affected. And now friends, that's how we use the paste special operation to carry out division operation. Thank you so much, and it's now your turn to practice what you've learned in your spreadsheet. All right, thank you so much and have a wonderful day.